It looks a bit soggy and damp out there this morning, but it's been raining since about 5 o'clock last night, and it is still continuing as of this hour. Pretty steady, moderate rainfall. Make sure to flick the headlights to the on position as you make your way out the door this morning. But do note that in some of these northern areas, say Sandpoint, Newport, Ione, it was up towards Kettle Falls as well until just recently. Still snowfall as of this morning as temperatures are slowly starting to climb today. It is 32 out of Sandpoint, so no wonder it is snowing there, but 38 here in Spokane. So that's where the rain snow difference is coming from this morning. But snow levels will be rising and climbing throughout the day today, leading to all rainfall later on. All rainfall this week could be as much as 2 or 3 inches of rain between now and Friday as flood watches are in effect for northern Idaho. More on the flooding and the avalanche threats that we have across the region. But for today, hour by hour, that is a very rainy 12-hour forecast, but temperatures climbing up to the 50s even without the sunshine. So it is going to be a warm and wet week ahead of us, and we'll show you the extended forecast in a few minutes.
Well, Snoqualmie Pass is closed in both directions this morning due to heavy snowfall and avalanche danger. There's no estimated time for reopening right now, but crews will evaluate an opening at 9 a.m.
Now to our big story. In our 7 o'clock hour, delegations from Ukraine and Russia will meet today for peace talks.
Ukraine's president also asked the European Union for membership. Now this comes as Russian troops continue to advance on Kyiv. For today's peace talks, delegates from the two nations plan to meet in Belarus at an undisclosed location along the Ukrainian border.
Ukraine's president agreed to the sit-down but will not actually attend. He says he does not expect any breakthroughs will emerge. At the United Nations, diplomats are gathering for a rare emergency session of the General Assembly.
Putin responded to the growing sanctions and condemnation by putting his country's nuclear forces on high alert.
Nothing is off the table with this guy. He's willing to use whatever tools he can to intimidate Ukrainians and the world.
UN Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield says the White House is committed to helping Ukraine, but says that the U.S. will not send any combat troops there.
Russia claims its troops are only targeting Ukrainian military facilities, but Ukrainian officials say civilians have been killed. The UN reports more than 500,000 people have fled Ukraine, most of them women and children, and U.S. officials are urging American citizens in Russia to think about leaving the country immediately. Now, if you would like to learn more about Russia's attacks on Ukraine, you can, and how you can help, you can text the word crisis to the number 509-448-2000, and we'll send that link right to your phone.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced a major update to its face mask guidance. Now, they said about 70% of the country could now safely stop wearing those face masks.
So this brought up a big debate on whether Washington should drop its mask mandate right now or wait until March 21st.
KRIM 2's Nicole Hernandez is joining us from the newsroom right now. So Nicole, can you tell us more about how people are responding to this new guidance?
Channing, Tim, a mix of reactions for sure, but right now the new CDC guidelines likely don't mean much of an update for Washington state. Over the weekend, Governor Inslee, you can see, tweeted out this right here. He said our office and the Washington State Department of Health are reviewing the updated guidance from the CDC. They're evaluating the data, the metrics, the approach. March 21st for now is still the day that the indoor mask mandate will end, but he does say we're going to be hearing more about that next week. Now, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward also took to Twitter. She said in part right here, there is no need to wait until March 21st to drop Washington's mask mandate. I'm calling on our governor to stop that now. So why the sudden change with the CDC? Well, the CDC shifted its metrics, focusing less on positive cases and more on the number of hospitalizations. Now, with that, the agency came out with this new risk map. Take a look here. The green and yellow regions show areas the CDC says that masks are not necessary. Now, taking a closer look specifically at Washington state, you can see all of eastern Washington and green are green and yellow, meaning again, the CDC does not think masks are necessary in our area. But if you look at other parts of the state, like Okanagan and Douglas and Grant County, they still recommend masks because of the risk. Now, regardless of what the CDC says, it's up to the state and local counties to decide on mask rules. In the newsroom, Nicole Hernandez, KRIM 2 News.
7:09 now, time for your Morning Rush. More news in less time.
The Okanagan County Sheriff's Office identified a suspect in a double homicide in Chesa. The sheriff deputies there looking for 25-year-old Dylan Harrington. Officials say a warrant for 2 counts of first-degree murder have been issued for his arrest. He's accused of shooting and killing an elderly couple on their property in Okanagan County earlier this month.
Starting today, you will be able to access Spokane County court records electronically. The feature will be available at the district court's website, so users can access all publicly available court records and print them for free. The district court's presiding judge says having access to public records electronically increases the public's access to justice.
Track and field athletes from across the country are in Spokane right now competing in the USA Indoor Track and Field Championships. The podium hosts its track and field season through tomorrow. The vice president of Spokane Sports says the podium expects to help generate up to $15 million of economic impact with track and field events.
Northern Quest hosted a meet and greet last night to give fans a chance to meet the Gonzaga basketball teams. Both the men's and women's teams made a special appearance at the casino ahead of the West Coast Conference Championship that'll be next week in Las Vegas. For some of those in attendance, they say it made their entire day.
Best day ever.
I said if I died tomorrow, I'd die with a smile on my face.
Oh, they're just amazing. And they're so personable. That's what is best and genuine about the Zags. Every one of them, from the cheerleaders to everybody, to the teams, I love them all.
Now, this was the first event ever like this, thanks to the new name, image, and likeness deal that allows players to profit off their likeness. And that's a look at your Morning Rush.
Tom Sherry has won every year of the Inlanders Readers Poll except the very first year. So he is on what's known as a hot streak.
It is Tom Sherry Week here at Creme 2, and all week long we are celebrating Tom's career as he prepares for his retirement.
And for your wake-up call this morning, we are welcoming Thomas Patrick to the Up with Creme team. Now, he is no stranger to Creme 2, but he is all new to our team here in the morning. So if you would like to send him a congratulations or maybe get to know him a little better by asking him a question, you can text him at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag UpWithCreme on social media.